It is not your fault. People will tell you, oh, you're a procrastinator, oh, you're just lazy. Come on, just do the work. But I understand it's not your fault. You try to do it, but it just feels over. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be tackling how to stop procrastinating. This is a really big issue that a lot of people face, and so I thought it would be really helpful for people to find out why they procrastinate, because then that helps you see how exactly to tackle your type of procrastination. Because all over the internet is how to stop procrastinating, but the truth is there's so many types of procrastinators and you need to tackle your specific one. But make sure to watch all of them, because I'm going to give a tiny explanation of that type of procrastinator and how to stop procrastinating if that type of procrastinator. It's important to watch all of them because you can be a little bit of each or many, or there's a little bit of a combination of which ones you are. And so it's best to watch all of them so you can tackle all of the reasons why you procrastinate. So let's start. So this person is afraid of bad feedback. They are afraid that there's no point in doing the work because, well, you're gonna get bad feedback anyways, or you're gonna fail anyways, or you're a perfectionist and you're like, it's not gonna be perfect and I don't know how to start, or I don't want to do it because it's not gonna be perfect. And then you only do it last minute because, well, you have to do it at some point. So here is how you're going to tackle if you're this type of procrastinator. The first way is one of the best. It's to have a support buddy, someone when you have all these feelings, oh, I shouldn't do it, I'm gonna fail anyways, or oh, it's not gonna be perfect. You're going to have that buddy who you trust and who's gonna help you deal with that. So if you say some of those things, they will help convince you that that is not true. They will support you. They'll be like, no, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a first draft or something like that. They'll be there to support you. So it should be someone you trust and someone who will help you work through those feelings so you don't have to feel them as much, okay? The second reason or second way, you will just start slowly. You will just do one little tiny thing. Like you'll tell yourself, oh, it's just a first draft, or oh, all I'll do is I'll write the first paragraph. And you will put no pressure on yourself of it being perfect, or having a chance to fail or get bad feedback, because you'll just tell yourself it's not that big of a task. And once you start it later on, you can tell yourself that it is a larger task, so you can use your perfectionism to make it good, and so you can actually work on it so you don't get bad feedback and don't fail. This is where your support buddy can also help you. They can help check and tell you it's actually not going to get bad feedback. Don't worry. It is perfect. It's really good. And so you have someone to assure you and check your work and help you kind of work through that and kind of trick your brain into thinking it's not that big of an assignment. You're making it larger in your head, and that's something your support buddy can help you with. It just feels like they have no reason to do the work, and the task is just so boring, and so why would they do the work? So in this case, it can be really fun to do a little competition with friends. So it can be who's going to do the work, not who's going to do the work faster, because that can affect how good your work is. And it just feels like they have no reason to do the work, and the task is just so boring, and so why would they do the work? So the competition between friends should be something that will motivate you to work. Like, for example, if you guys all study together, you guys all hold each other accountable. If all of you study and do all of your homework by Saturday morning, then all of you can go and hang out and go to lunch. Something like that. It's something that will hold all of you accountable. So even if the task is boring, you'll actually get to it and you'll finish it by the weekend or by Sunday morning or something like that. You pick your time. So, or you guys can go and study together somewhere, so you will all make sure to check on each other and be like, hey, you should study, and if you do study for this amount of time, we get to go do that. Or if we all finish this task together, we get this reward. So you guys can hold each other accountable, and that will help give you some motivation. The second way is you can use fun study methods, like you can use flashcards, or I don't know, you can just have a discussion with your friends about it. That's actually learning, and it's a lot better than just reading the textbook. You can't use boring study methods. I share some study methods on my Instagram, and there will be videos coming with fun study methods, because sometimes the task will be more fun or as fun as possible to do if you do it in a fun way. So that is how you can deal if you're this type of procrastinator. If you're this type of procrastinator, you're often very kind of like skeptical about where to start. You're like, I don't know. The task is so challenging. Like, it's an essay, but I'm supposed to do research on it, but I don't know how to start the research, what to do, should I take notes? And it just feels like there's so much. In this case, again, having a friend or doing this with a friend can help, because both of you, if you guys come up with like, oh, I know how to do it, then someone is there to help you. Or you can call them if you're at home or try to study with them. If it's challenging, the first way is to ask the teacher if they have a tip on how to start simply. But if that is not an option, then what you can do is you can do the 5-minute rule. This is, you're just going to start the task, no pressure, and you're just going to do it for 5 minutes. And you're going to tell yourself, you're going to trick your brain into thinking, I'm just going to do 5 minutes. And you're going to study for 5 minutes. And if you get into it and maybe you realize how to do it in those 5 minutes, you will keep going. Even if you don't, you have to finish those 5 minutes by doing something, maybe just, trying to figure out what you're going to do in those 5 minutes. The second way is you're just going to go slowly. You're going to put it into little pieces. You're going to tell yourself, oh, I'm just going to write the title. Then I'm just going to write the first sentence and the second sentence. And then you're going to be like, how about we write the first body paragraph? How about we do a little research, see what we should do? Put it into parts. Make that one big challenging thing and just make it into tiny little things you know how to do. You know how to write a title. You know how to research something. You know how to write a topic sentence. You know how to write a body paragraph. You can even if you don't, you can do a little bit of research on that, and that is what you'll do. You can watch a video on it. And so by doing it that way, it feels like not one big overwhelming task where you don't know where to start or something that's too challenging. It feels like these tiny little tasks that are simple. And that way you know where to start. The simplest way to start, write a title. Open up a document where you're going to write it. Open up your notes. Look up a video on the topic, or look up a video on how to write a paragraph or a good essay. That is where you can start. Just always start simple. Don't start by telling yourself, I'm just going to sit down and write the essay. That may work for you, but for these types of procrastinators, it can be hard. So try those tips. The fourth type of procrastinator is the one that's always exhausted after school and feels like there's just so much to do, and so they're just super stressed because they have so much to do and feel like they have no time to do it. And so if you're this type of procrastinator, what you're going to often do is you're going to come home, sit down, and before you do anything else, you are going to write in simple words and in the most generalized way, you're going to write down a to-do list. For example, you're going to write down essay, write essay. Don't write much more, because when you're going to look at it, you're going to want it to calm you down. I'll make you more stressed by writing. I need to write a body paragraph, this, that. Just write essay for English. You should know what that is by now. You probably do. And make sure you write down a to-do list that's just simple, straightforward, and kind of puts all these big categories that feel really big into a tiny little thing that feels like a tiny thing you're supposed to do. Okay, and then you're going to take a little break, just a 5-minute one. You're going to grab a snack and a drink, and you're going to come sit back down at your desk, and then you're going to get started. Similar like the people who have problems that they feel that the task is challenging and have no idea where to start, you're just going to do something for 5 minutes. You're going to start. You're going to do the simplest task, okay? Or if you have no idea where to start and you feel exhausted, the simplest way may not be to start with the simplest task. but eat the frog, which basically means you're going to do the hardest task and the most time-consuming task. Usually, here's the order that I recommend doing it. Do the hardest task so you get that over with and you know you're done with it. Less stress, you feel less overwhelmed. And then do the ones that take the most time until the ones that take the least time, because those that take the least time, they take the least time so you can do them later on. You will always have time for those. And if you do it like that, and you start each task by doing the simplest things, and you just tell your brain, okay, I'm just going to write the title, I'm just going to write the body paragraph, and you make it like that, even if you are exhausted, you're going to get this done really fast. After each task, you're going to take a 5-minute break. You're going to put it into your incredible to-do list. You are going to take a little quick break, just a quick one, maybe listen to some music to motivate you, like one song, go get another snack, refill your drink, and come back. Because if you're overwhelmed, waiting will just make it a lot worse and thinking about how bad it is. So the simplest way is to just start and get it over with. And same if you're exhausted, because if you take a nap now, you're going to later on have to do it anyway. So it's better to do it now and then you can go rest. Because by resting, you're going to often be more tired afterwards anyways, and it's going to be the evening, and who knows what you're going to have to do then. So it's just simpler to start. First thing when you get home, don't get your snack yet, sit down, write that to-do list, and then just get to it. That is the simplest way that you can overcome this type of procrastination. Is you're just a sensation seeker. You feel like, oh, I do well under time pressure. It's a lot more fun to do it that way. In this case, you are going to do an artificial kind of time constraint, because if you like that the deadline's midnight and you start at 11:30 to go and quickly do it, but you need the good grades, the simplest way to do this is you are going to use a Pomodoro timer technique and a buddy to hold you accountable. Someone who's going to pretend to be the teacher, and the time is going to be the one that's going to pretend to be midnight, the deadline. But you want to get it done as soon as possible because you don't want to procrastinate on it. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up your desk, pretend like it's a test. Your buddy is going to be there and they're going to watch you. It can be a parent or someone who's going to watch you. And you're only going to give yourself the amount of time that you think you need. Don't give yourselves 3 hours or, look at the task and see what you need. And then do the task. When it's done, your friend will tell you, look, you have 5 minutes or 10 minutes to quickly look it over, do final edits, and then submit. If you do need more time, in this case, you actually have it. So that's a good thing, but forget about that when you're starting. Make sure your friend convinces you that they will not give you extra time. It's just a test. It can be a fun kind of role play game, I guess, but this will really help you to get over that sensation seeking and get better grades, because you actually have time to do the work and you're not racing against midnight, but you are racing against time. So you get that sort of sensation seeking feeling, and you get to fulfill the feelings that you usually want when you're studying. So remember, there are many types of procrastinators, and try to combine these and maybe you'll realize, oh, maybe that's not me, and you'll try and be like, that doesn't work for me. So try a different one, rewatch this video, try again, and try to do that because it will really help. And remember, it is not your fault. People will tell you, oh, you're a procrastinator, oh, you're just lazy. Come on, just do the work. But I understand it's not your fault. You try to do it, but it just feels overwhelming or you don't know what to do. But it is important to tackle, because the more you procrastinate, sometimes your grades can be worse. Your grades can actually improve if you stop procrastinating. So try these tips, try a different combination of these tips, and stop procrastinating. And remember, it's not your fault. Find that trusted buddy that will help you through this. And maybe if they're a procrastinator, ask them to try this and watch this video as well and see what type of procrastinator they are, compare, contrast, and you guys can try each other's tips, and maybe it'll work if you guys work together, because that is often very helpful and makes it less stressful. So thanks for watching. Watch this video on how to start studying, because that can also help if you're a procrastinator and you just don't know how to study, and I gave you all these tips on how to stop procrastinating, but now you need tips on how to stop procrastinating. You have that, and now you just need on how to start studying when you stop procrastinating. So make sure to watch that video because that can be really helpful as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.